Welcome back to the Pond Lee Hockey Postgame Show. I'm Devin Caney. It is time for the Diamond Debate presented by Mark's Jewelers. Guys, lots of things to choose to debate in this one, but first we have to get to the goods, to the bling. They gave me pearls. They gave me 3 different pieces, actually, this week. A necklace, a bracelet, and earrings. And in Mark's Jewelers' defense, they gave them to me because they like to put like a little eagle spin on everything that they give me because pearls represent wisdom, and the Eagles have shown wisdom in showcasing their strengths and exploiting opponents' weaknesses. They did not do that tonight, but, you know, Mark's Jewelers did not know the way that this Commanders game was going to go. They also gave Seth Joyner some bling that puts mine to shame. It puts pretty much anything I've worn so far this season to shame.
You got to put your sunglasses on if you look at this.
Look at that. Look at that. All right, what are the details on that? It's 51 carats.
Hey, how come we didn't get any jewelry, Mike?
Mark.
White gold.
Yo.
Marks gave him that to wear?
Yeah. Are you jealous?
You don't give us anything? What do we get, 10? Copper?
Okay, well, Mark, if
Cubic
you're
zirconia
watching.
or something?
Good night,
hook 'em
everybody.
up.
Dang. Come on, Mike.
Okay, well,
Hey.
no. Okay, what would you want if they
I'm
were to provide you guys? Because
I'm
we know Mark's
special.
I
going
mean,
to watch
that's a
this.
nice piece. I like
I'm
to have that.
special, man.
I'm a big watch. See, I own a lot of watches, so it's got to be a watch for me.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
You wanna
your
rock
Apple
this?
Watch
What's
compared
that?
to
You
that.
want to rock this?
No, see,
That's really
and
nice.
for
Look,
me-
it's
to me-
literally like blinding in this.
For me to wear that watch
monitor
in
here.
public, I need to be 6'3", 260 pounds. See, I ain't wearing that, bro. I'm not wearing that in public unless I have a
nobody's gonna
4-man.
take that.
See, ain't
Nobody's
nobody
gonna
gonna
take
try
that
to
from
take that off you.
No,
Hey, listen, man.
Look, I'm 5'11",
with-
225, bro.
With the right equipment,
Yeah.
I'll hand it to him.
What's that?
Versus the right equipment,
Yeah.
I'll just be like, here.
You give me a
can have
4-man
it.
security detail, I'll wear that
Well,
watch.
listen, I don't even need that. I don't need nothing if I got to have that kind of detail.
No,
Were
no,
you wearing
what-
that as we were watching the game?
No.
Oh, you just put that on?
No, you can't miss that if he was watching the game. man. Come on,
okay.
you know.
By the way, Devin, that's like one of my. That's probably the favorite thing I've seen.
Really?
What,
Yeah,
the necklace?
yeah,
You
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
I like
nice.
that
Because it's
Yeah.
not overly.
I don't know,
blingy.
man. It's
Yeah.
it's
You know?
mama's
I feel like
it's
I'm
mama's
covering it
birthday
up.
today. I might have to buy that little.
Oh,
That's
really
thing.
nice.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is a nice one. Thank you, Mark's Jewelers.
I
All
know
right.
she watches. She like cheesing, like, yeah, get it.
Hey, Mike, I'm upset, man. We didn't get anything, man.
Yeah, you know, we got
Yeah.
sliders.
Yep. Yeah.
We got hamburger sliders up there.
And wings.
That's what we got.
And wings.
And wings. You
Hey,
got
the-
some good
hey,
wings.
Hey, the brownies was good.
I didn't even get a
And
brownie.
the brownies.
Huh?
I didn't get a. I think Devin had like 6 of them.
I did.
Did you really? I was just
No, I
kidding.
had 2.
Oh, you had 2. Okay.
But they're big. Our green room has really good
I
brownies.
might not have made it to the set if they. I asked the guy, I was like, "Hey man, can you get some ice cream, some vanilla ice cream?" He act like he didn't even hear me. But if I'd have got that ice cream, I would not be sitting here right
Wow.
now. I'd be in the green room sleep.
Well, guys, you know, last show we were eating cookies because the Phillies lost and we were sad. So maybe this week we need some brownies and ice cream because the
Maybe
Eagles
we
are
need to
making us
just do
sad.
away with the. Now that you mention it, maybe we need to do away with the dessert.
No, no.
2 weeks in a row.
No.
The chocolate chip cookies
Yeah.
and the Phillies lost the World Series.
Okay.
We're sitting
That-
right here
oh, that's a
watching
good
it.
point.
Then tonight we got the brownies up there and the Eagles, you know,
Believe
break
in superstitions? Really?
We've had
Hey,
the brownies.
man, whatever
We've
it-
had brownies.
Football
on
whatever-
mentality
whatever it takes.
resurfacing
So look,
there?
I'm a
Whatever it
superstitious
takes.
person, but when it comes to dessert, like, do not involve them in superstitions because I
Yeah,
can't
see?
go without them.
All right,
That's
let me
where
tell
I
you
draw the
something.
line.
Let me tell you something. If they show up with some cookies next week and the Eagles lose, the following week when the guy come in,
You know
I'm like,
what?
take them
Look
cookies
at-
right
no,
out
no,
of
no.
here.
No, dude, you go sit in your own personal green room. Bring the cookies, bring the brownies. You know, listen to that. You sound like the football player, the superstitious football player who always put on one shoe, one sock first, and then the other shoe and the other sock. Were you one of these superstitious type players?
I was.
What was your superstition as a
so
player?
When I got to the locker room, like I had it all. I had a system.
Yeah.
So I would lay my socks out, then my pants
Oh, my goodness.
right on top of the socks.
Right.
You know, the jersey, the whole deal. I mean, and the right sock went on, then the left sock went on, then the pants went on, then the undershirt went on. I mean, and then I had my Walkman on. I had my same song that I listened to every single week. I mean, so
What was the song?
Yeah.
Zap. I got the power, baby.
Oh, that's a good song.
Oh yeah.
You see,
And what happened if you didn't do it in that order?
There was no such thing as not doing that in that
Wow.
order.
Okay.
I was
found out.
I was a creature of habit.
you sound like that dude Serrano in the movie Major Leagues, He was sitting. He'd have to do his ritual with his little buddy Jobu, the statue in there, and he'd have to address the statue before he got ready to play again.
Well, I'm not into them kind of idols and whatnot, but I did have a system. I was very systematic about what I did, and once I put my headsets on,
right,
everybody in the locker room knew. Don't even talk to them, even the coaches.
Wow.
Because once those headsets go on, I'm locked and loaded.
Well, like Devin said, did you ever step out of character
No.
and miss a step?
No.
Which
Well,
you played a bad
no,
game?
You can't do it.
That's a good transition because we haven't gotten to the actual Diamond debate topic yet,
Okay,
and
all
it's
right.
What's to blame, who is to blame. There are many reasons to blame for this Eagles loss. Maybe someone didn't do their pregame routine in the right order, or didn't listen to their song. We don't know. But the options, and you guys can weigh in on the JAKIB Media Twitter page and also the YouTube page. It's in the comment section. What cost the Eagles their first loss? A, Jonathan Gannon. B, officiating. C, turnovers. And now I know all three of these things were factors, but which is the biggest reason for the loss right now? Jonathan Gannon is leading,
Well,
it's not like a big divide here. It's Jonathan Gannon leading by 43, then turnovers 37, and officiating at 20. So what do you guys think about this one?
I'm going Gannon. Plain and simple.
Are you going to ask Seth that first?
Yeah, really. I had to jump in before he went on his dissertation.
No, hey, listen, I'm a firm believer that turnovers is one of the greatest indicators about winning football games and how you win. Okay, I was always taught that 2 or more turnovers, you don't deserve to win the football game.
Right.
Okay, but we talked about it earlier. Jonathan Gannon had no answer. He had no adjustment. You cannot play in the NFL where you don't have an adjustment to what teams are doing to you. Because if you can't adjust, then guess what? They're just going to keep giving you more of the same.
Absolutely.
I said it, D-Gun, at the beginning of the game. When they came out and they started running the ball, we even talked about it in pregame. I said, listen, James Robinson is back 100%. Okay? Gibson doesn't even get the type of playing time that he got earlier in the year because this dude, James Robinson, is a straight beast. I said, if the Eagles don't remedy this, what's going to wind up happening, they're going to run it, and when they want to go play action, they're going to get whatever they want to get. It's one of the main reasons why Terry McLaurin has emerged ever since Taylor Heineke has taken over as quarterback.
Right.
Because they're running the ball more effectively, and then when they run it more effectively and they go play action pass, it's just common sense when you really think about football. It opens up the entire playbook. And I'm wondering now, why didn't the Eagles come out and at least try to establish the run early in the game to open up the playbook? And they had some success
They went right
jumping
to the
out
pass.
with 14 points, but they were one-sided. They didn't really get to their run game to the third quarter.
I think it went back to how they feared Washington's run defense from that first game. Washington held them to 72 yards rushing. They tried to run the ball initially. Now, they didn't pick up steam running the football until the second half.
They didn't commit to running until the second half.
But they gave up on the run real quick. And I think Devin's list of what cost them the game most is too minuscule. It should have been like 6 or 7 different options on that.
No, there were. It's honestly, Twitter only lets you have a few options.
I know.
So
but I'm saying
limited.
you can put Brandon Graham in there. You can
Right.
put run deep. You can put poor tackling again.
You're right. There's so
The
many
whole
things
thing-
happen, but the main thing is they did not adjust to the other team running the football
they
down
did
their
not.
throat all game long, and I don't understand it. They've got a staff of defensive coaches, and they were unable to influence the game defensively. That is something I do not understand. And you're right about them finally running the ball, because it was the drive where they finally committed to the run. They got it to 23-21 on that drive. They went a little up-tempo. They changed it up a little bit. Defensively, they never changed up.
Mike, as I said a few moments ago, Houston set the blueprint. Did they adjust against Houston's run game? No. Houston just basically couldn't finish the drives, okay? Washington said, hey, look, we know we don't have the talent the Philadelphia Eagles have on both sides of the football, but we have one thing. And as I said off the top of this show, it was quite obvious Washington's offensive line, which we criticize time and time again, is better built for run blocking than it is pass blocking. And that's exactly what they did tonight. They asserted themselves as a run blocking offensive line. And you got two backs, Robinson, 6'1", 230 pounds. Gibson, 6'2", 225 pounds. That's almost 450 pounds of men coming forward. That one play in particular, and let's talk about tackling. You want to talk Fletcher Cox and CJ could not stop Robinson at the goal line. He carried them to finish for a 1-yard touchdown run. How big is Fletcher Cox? 6'5", 290 pounds. He couldn't stop that man at the 1-yard line. He had him in a bear hug. He couldn't stop him.
All he had to do was lay his weight back, just go dead weight backwards. But it's like when you watch the Eagles tackle, and this is one of the biggest problems I have. Everybody's trying to tackle this guy shoulder height.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
He's got the same thing with Damian Pierce last week.
Yep.
This guy's got legs like trees.
Yes.
But you're going to try to tackle him up high.
Shoulder pads.
And you got 3 guys that's on his shoulder pads, and he's just dragging them along. Did anybody think about maybe I should hit him on the knee or hit him on the legs or tackle his legs, because guess what? He can't run without his legs.
That's a problem across the National Football League. Everybody tackles like that. Yeah. Look at how many big backs you have in the league. You see it all the time. That one play was embarrassing where I can't remember if it was Gibson or Robinson who ran a middle run, and he carried 4 or 5 guys another 5 or 6 yards inside the 5-yard line. That's probably the most demoralizing play of the game.
Let me throw this at you.
No, the most demoralizing play of the game was Quez Watkins' fumble.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, you got a point.
So
we didn't put Quez on that list also.
Yeah.
So, Mike, to your point, we've been talking throughout this whole undefeated run about player complacency. Okay, is it possible that there was some complacency among the coaching staff when you talk about Jonathan Gannon's inability to adjust to, what was before him?
I'm perplexed. I really am. I do not understand how a team could just consistently run. They weren't doing anything magic. They're consistently running the ball against you, and they're keeping your defense on the field for long periods of time, and the offense can't get on the field. So I do not understand why you would not change some things up. This is as baffling a defensive game plan that I've seen in a really long time.
There's nothing flashy about the Washington offense. They told you exactly what they were going to do. There wasn't even a lot of trap blocking. It was like straight dive runs, and all you saw was burgundy helmets moving this way and black helmets moving back this way the whole doggone night.
In the NFL, you see these trends about what works and what doesn't work. Okay, for the last 5 to 7 years, everyone has talked about the fact that the NFL is a passing league. Oh, you have to throw the ball in order to win. I think we're starting to see a resurgence of the run game in the NFL because you minimize the amount of times, especially when you're playing against high-powered offenses. You want to minimize the possessions. You want to shorten the game.
Absolutely.
You want to be able to dominate, the line of scrimmage if you can. You saw it with Green Bay yesterday.
Absolutely.
I won't even go so far as to say, the Minnesota game. Minnesota ran the ball halfway decent. I believe that Dalvin Cook, had right around 100 yards yesterday. You see, the game tonight. I probably can go through 4 or 5 games yesterday where you're starting to see these offensive coordinators that are taking the ball out of these quarterbacks' hands and being able to establish the run because they're dictating personnel. And when you dictate personnel that way, now you can have whatever you want to have. And these teams that live in nickel and dime situations, no matter what personnel you put on the field, they're asking for trouble. I see teams with 3 tight ends on the field, and they still got nickel and dime personnel on the field. Yep. Are you kidding me? Yep. You mean to tell me you don't have a big backer package, extra backer package?
I can see if you're afraid of a quarterback. If you're going to bunch up against the run and you're afraid a quarterback's going to hurt you. That's Taylor Heineke.
Exactly.
On the other side. He's
got 20
and he
starts.
even did his best to try to give the game back to you with that foolish 3rd down throw when they're running the football and they could have maintained control, and he decides to go goofy with the bomb and it's picked off.
But, Mike, let me tell you, see, so for years people have heard me say, "Oh, you got to run the ball. You got to run the ball. You got to run the ball." And I've had people come at me on social media, "Oh, that was a game when you played. He's outdated." But understand why I'm saying that. When you have a young quarterback or an inefficient quarterback, I should say, guess what his best friend is? His best friend is the run game.
That's right.
Because if you run the ball, then you can get to play action pass, and you can get to misdirection plays, and you can roll him out of the pocket. Now you've got a wide open playbook. There's not that many quarterbacks that can stand in the pocket and dominate. They just can't.
Seth, they ran 51 plays in the first half. 30 plus were runs. What are you telling your staff or your team, your defensive captains at halftime? They're running the football. They ran 51 plays. 30 plus were rushes.
I'm not going to go so far as to say that you don't have games like this, okay? But we saw a game like this last week. That's my problem.
Well,
okay?
that's exactly right.
We see the game like this last week.
We got to change it up.
So what do I say? What we see today is the future preview of what's to come. I say it all the time.
And they're going to have to change.
People think that I'm just talking out my behind.
We've been asking.
They're going to have to change.
How are they going to change?
If they don't change after this game, they're never going to change.
Mike,
what if they don't have the ability to change?
Yeah. You can't, you can't
listen,
make wholesale personnel
maybe
changes.
They don't have technically the ability to change, but they're going to have to junk something up to stop it because this is what teams are going to do to you every week.
So, yes, they need to change. Hopefully they will. Who knows, Jonathan Gannon and whatever he's saying to his defense after this one. But the reason that we gave different options in this debate is because, yes, the defense could not stop the Commanders' run, but then you also look at things like Quez Watkins fumbling the ball, the Dallas Goedert face mask to a fumble, so many, the Brandon Graham.
Yeah, they were right there.
There were so many factors,
they were right
and they
there.
should have and could have won.
You're right. They were right there.
Regardless of the Commanders running all over them. So A.J. Brown didn't look right. Like, there's so many different factors that went into this loss that, to me, like, for the fumbles are just baffling. The Brandon Graham
But what was
play
the
at
most
the end
consistent thing that happened? Yeah, those things are going to happen where you're going to turn the ball over here or there.
Right.
The most consistent thing that happened was they let the other team dictate to them that they're going to run the football right at them. That was the most consistent theme of this whole game.
Well, so I guess I'm trying to ask overall, like, what do they need to work on aside from obviously the rush defense? Like the fumbles, the bad officiating. Like, you can't control how a ref is going to call a play. Like, what else aside from the rush defense needs to be worked on before Sunday at 1 p.m.?
I think they needed this loss to get a slap in the face, a wake-up call.
Right. I do, too. I think they just weren't – I think that was the downside to being undefeated, to being 8-0.
I said off the top of this show, for 10 consecutive weeks, we have watched football games where a number of games fall in the category of, wow, I didn't see that coming. This one definitely falls in that category. Wow, I didn't see this coming tonight, but we knew certain flaws about this team would eventually catch up to them, and it did in this game tonight. Now, from what I read before the game, supposedly Nick Sirianni in his team meeting with the players last night told them, we have to be more physical. Physicality is the key for this game against Washington. I just saw a comment from Brian Robinson after the game talking to the NFL Network where he said, we knew we had to out-physical this team. Who got the message and who didn't? Who was the more physical team from start to finish? And yet, with that said, the Eagles had their chance. It was one of those dog day afternoons. They finally got bit. They were not sharp. The first time this season, they lose the turnover battle. Quez Watkins makes the catch. Did you think he was going to get the ball knocked out of his? No. Brandon Graham, 13-year vet, makes the play. You saw him shaking his head on the sideline. Yeah. He knew what he did. This team stepped out of character tonight, and it cost.
You're right. They were aberrations. I thought the turnovers were aberrations. I mean,
yes.
Jalen Hurts hasn't turned the ball over hardly at all this year. And so he throws the pick. And then Goddard trying to make an effort play, gets the ball punched out. And there was a face mask on that play. Yep. And then Quez is trying to make an extra yard play. And gets caught from behind.
Listen, sometimes you just have to give the other team credit for making plays.
That's it. They out-physical the Eagles.
So the two fumbles, okay? There's no way for Quez to know
Right.
that guy's there.
You can't say they have to stop their turnovers.
And you can talk about the referees missing the call, but at the same time, you can't account for a guy coming in punching the ball out, while you're trying to make a play. Now, the Jalen interception, that's just greed, okay? That's just greed. You got away with it. You got away with it against the Steelers, okay? It bit him tonight throwing in the double coverage, okay? Hoping that your guy can go up and make a play. Now, I hope that A.J. Brown, whatever it is that's going on with his ankle, isn't something that's serious, because he clearly just was not right tonight, okay? But I just feel like, listen, the MO for the Eagles, in my opinion, is still to run the football, to open up the offense, and that's going to allow Jalen Hurts to do whatever it is that he needs to do. But to your point, D-Gun, you talked about the flaws, okay? And when the Eagles win and we begin to, critique and analyze what went on during the game, and, people on social media chime in, oh, you just a hater. You doesn't even seem like, you're an Eagles fan. I'm like, are you out of your damn mind? Okay, I want this team to win as many games and as many championships for this city as possible. But I'm not the fanboy. I'm the analyst. You can be the fanboy. You're not going to ever see me walking around with an Eagles jersey on and an Eagles hat on.
Right,
Guess why?
right.
Because I'm not a fanboy.
Right.
My job is to be an analyst, to break down what it is that I see and and the flaws that I feel like somewhere down the line are going to cost the team. And we're going to talk about those things. So when I've been doing that for 8 weeks and people have been mad at me, tonight is the manifestation of what I've been talking about.
Oh, Seth Joyner haters are punching air right now.
So
That's all I have to say.
First of all, why do you listen to social media?
Don't let those people get to you.
Why do you bother?
You're a big tough guy.
You listen to people on social media?
Man, if you cut me right now, I won't bleed. You want to know why? Because I got thick skin, man.
I understand it.
I can handle it.
Listen,
when you're opinionated, you better have thick skin.
Absolutely.
And you better have conviction.
Absolutely.
You better believe in what you say. So when I say what I say, I'm not worried about who's going to like it and who doesn't like it.
Do you respond to these people?
Absolutely, especially because I love debate.
Because you've given them what they wanted.
No, listen, I love debate, and I love conversation, and I love to educate people. Wait a minute, Mike. Wait a minute. I love to educate people about this game that I love. Okay, just the one thing that I will not and cannot tolerate is disrespect.
Okay, but you know what? You've given them exactly what they wanted. You've responded. You've given them exactly what they wanted.
That's fine.
A forum to debate
fine.
you whether they believe what they're saying or not. Why would you even do that?
That's fine.
Why?
Just don't do it disrespectfully.
They don't care. Do you understand? Twitter, social media, they don't care.
Do you understand that there's a little arrow up in the top right corner?
You know what I do?
Where I can click that arrow and block your ass.
You know what I do?
You know that?
You know what? I have fun blocking people.
Oh, of course.
You know what?
I love blocking
let me tell you something.
But I've put up with 30 years of hatred that you're talking about. You're just getting it. I have 30 years worth of it.
For years, a lot of my writer friends, a lot of writer friends in Philadelphia, I would ask, why do you block so many people? And he says, I'm tired of these people. I'm enjoying blocking people for the last year.
I enjoy people blocking.
I enjoy the debate.
And will continue to block.
I enjoy the debate, and I enjoy the fact that we can go back and forth. Okay, and at some point in time, if we don't agree, we're gonna agree to disagree and move on. But I'm not gonna let you come on my feed. Like, I'll post something, and someone will come on, and they're just like going in, and they're being disrespectful. I'm like, if I come to your feed,
block.
If I come to your feed,
block.
If I come to your feed and you want to disagree with me, that's fine. But you don't get to come to my feed and tell me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about and be disrespectful. I will block your ass and everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know how this conversation somehow went from Jonathan Gannon to
I don't know how it got away from it either.
It's all right. This is a better conversation.
No, the worst part of this loss is the Dallas fans. Everyone's saying that the Vikings are now the best team in the league and that the Eagles hadn't played anyone. And now the Eagles are not going to be in like the power rankings. And I hate that because the Eagles get so much slander.
The power rankings, I ain't seen nobody lead the power rankings and win a Super Bowl. So don't
That's
nobody,
very true.
nobody give a damn about the power rankings.
Power
It's
rankings
just
are
like
just a conversation piece. That's all it is.
It's just like
It's the Eagles are fraudulent conversations that I can't deal
so,
with.
well, listen.
That's what I
Do
can't
you
deal with.
then do you debate people on social media when it
I
comes
try
to that?
not to.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Sometimes
Well,
after a loss, I'm upset though, and I'll.
yes, I've seen you when you are upset. What?
This man is bothered by trolls on Twitter. He's wearing
Thank you.
he's wearing a $100,000 watch.
Yeah.
And he's bothered by trolls on Twitter.
I am not bothered
Show
by
that
them.
thing. That's all you
Block.
got to do.
I'm
Shut
not
up.
bothered.
All right, guys,
I will
Yeah,
ice
look at
you
that
up.
wraps up our diamond debate. Seth and I
man.
both rocking jewelry from Mark's Jewelers. Stick around because the Pond the Hockey post-game show is coming up right after this break.